Alright guys, in the previous video we said we were going to take a look at TinkerCAD.com. This is an awesome environment where we can create simulations of our Arduinos, we can bring components in, wire them up, and then we can actually code them within our browser here. So let's take a look at this guy. Let me just get myself out of the way here. Okay, so we're going to here to TinkerCAD.com. Once you get to this web page right here, then you can either join now or sign in if you have an account. There's a number of ways that you can sign in there. I just created a TinkerCAD account, but you can have your Google or whatever account that brings you in here. All right, guys. So once you've got into here and you've created your account, you'll be on this page right here. And this is the 3D designs, but we're looking for the circuits. So just below, you'll see circuits. So click on this guy. You can see that I've got a circuit that I've already created here. So anytime that you create additional circuits, they will show up on this page. Okay, but let's go here first. Let's go to create a new circuit. Excellent. Okay, so this brings up our environment for the TinkerCAD. So you'll notice that it gives you some crazy name here, right? So it's always like weird names. So at the top here it says funky circuit, right? So you can change that, right? So we can say test TinkerCAD environment. So you can change the name. You can also change the name later on once you get back to that home page. You just go to the settings and you can change the name on each of your different circuits there. Okay, so in the center here, this is our simulation area. And then over to the side here, you can see that they have a number of different components here. So the ones that are shown right now are the basic ones. So there's basic and then all. Let me show you the basic ones first. So here you can see they have resistors, LEDs, push buttons, potentiometer, capacitors, slide switch. There's a 9-volt battery there. We have a 3-volt battery. There's breadboards. There's the Arduino. Excellent. There's even servos, DC motors. There's so many different things that are here. There's the ultrasonic sensor, the PIR sensor. This is awesome. And new things are being added all the time now. So I remember looking at this like a year or two ago, and there's new components that are on there now. So those are your basic components. If we look at all, then it brings in a couple other things. You can bring in an inductor. There's Zener diodes, polarized capacitors. So you can create circuits and you can create Arduino circuits here as well. Okay, there's a gas sensor. There's temperature sensor, TMP36. Oh, this is awesome. The keypad is there, dip switches. The RGB LED is there, NeoPixel, the NeoPixel ring. So this is awesome. Like you can simulate a lot of things in this environment. There's the IR remote, the LCD screen. And then some random potato battery. But yeah, and then different types of breadboards there. And again, there's some instruments. There's some multimeters there. There's a scope there as well, so you can take a look at some things. And it even has integrated circuits there. So there's a 555 timer. There's an op amp. Awesome. And then down below, what is this? Some transistors there. So transistors, MOSFETs, relays. Awesome. This is phenomenal. Oh, there's even some logic gates there as well. So this is a phenomenal environment that you can use on your own, or if you're a teacher, you can make the use of this in your class. So lots of different components here. So let's start off with the basic guys here. Okay, and what we want to do is we just want to drop some things onto the board here. So let's drop in a breadboard. So you drop that guy in, and I need the Arduino. So I'm going to drop this guy in below. Excellent. Okay, if I want to zoom out, then I can use the mouse scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. Okay, I believe I can, if I want to move something, I have to go to a point that isn't like a wire connection. So I can go right here in the breadboard, hold down the left or the right mouse button, sorry, and then we can move that bad boy around. Okay, same thing over here for the Arduino. I can grab it and move it so that everything looks gorgeous and lines up there. Cool, eh? So, and then you can, how far can you zoom in? Whoa, awesome. You can really zoom in on the components there. Here we can see the actual breadboard here, and as you do this, it's great because it shows you the actual like connections on the breadboard here. I don't know if I showed you this in the previous video, but let's look at the back of a breadboard. because I didn't have one that was actually like ripped open. But I'm sure, yeah, Google always helps you out, gives you the image here. So here, let's take a look at this image right here. So you can see that at the back of the breadboard, all it has is these metal, like these metal lines here, right? So I call these bus bars here. So you have a bus that goes right across here. So each of these terminals right here has continuity, and continuity just means that it's the same piece of metal right across. So each of these guys right across has a piece of metal, and then there's two larger bus bars on either side for the positive and the negative, right? So here we can see the positive bus corresponding to this piece of metal right here, and the negative bus right here in the blue corresponding to this guy right here. Okay, so now we got a visual as to what's actually behind the actual breadboard. But it's awesome because if we go back to this guy and we hold onto, or we just hover over this guy, you can see there's the negative bus and there's the positive bus on the breadboard. Here we can see that these 5 have continuity, these 5 have continuity, and all the way across, but these 5 do not touch these 5 down here, so they're separate. But again, each of these connections has 5 different terminals that all have continuity. And on the bottom, again, we have a negative and a positive bus that's available here as well. It's just a phenomenal teaching environment because you can just grab everything, and it's just, there's so many tools that are out there now. And this has been around for a while, but it's just phenomenal. So if you don't have the Lego starter kit or any other starter kit, you can start here and learn quite a bunch of components. It's always a lot more fun. I find a lot more fun to actually wire up the components, because then you see the actual polarity of the LEDs and stuff like that. But this is a great place to start. And if you're a teacher, you can like show your lesson online. Like during COVID here, you can show your lesson online. You can get your students to work on the components at home, and they don't necessarily have to have purchased any of the starter kits. All right, guys, what else do I have to show you? Let's start off by making a new circuit here. So if I wanted to wire this up, then maybe I want to bring my 5 volts over to this bus right here on the breadboard. So I'm going to go from the 5 volts. So you can see here that as you hover over each of the different points there, you can see that it comes in. Let me just make that a little bit bigger so you can see. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my mouse button. And then if I grab this and bring it over to here, then it drops in and then connects into the Arduino. Cool, eh? Now at this point, like that's right in the way. So I want to change that. But as I try to change it, then I'm actually moving the Arduino. So that kind of sucks. So how do we get it so that it's gorgeous, where I want, like, where we come down and move over and do some nice straight lines rather than going right across to the breadboard? Well, I'm going to click this guy and I'm just going to delete that guy out. And then as I bring this over again to the bus, I'm going to click, and then every time that I want the wire to bend, I'm going to click my mouse button once again. So I'm clicking to select the 5 volts, then I'm going down to here, I'm clicking again. Ah, yes, then it bends there. You can see that I get this gorgeous line that tells me that I'm parallel to the Arduino there. Okay, then I'm going to come up here to, I don't know, look about here, looks good, and then come up to the board there. Now, if you are a little bit of OCD and this is driving you crazy that it's off on a bit of an angle, then you can grab this corner piece right here. So see this circle that just highlighted? You can press the mouse button down, and then you can just move this guy over, and then it lines up right there. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, now this one right here for my 5 volts, I usually have this as a red. So you can now click on this guy, and then up in the right corner here, you can see that the colors appear. So we have all these different types of colors that we can use. The other way that you can do this is that you can click on the wire, and then you can like just hit the numbers on your keyboard. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it just scrolls through all your different colors there. I want to have a red there for my 5 volts. Gorgeous. And then I want to bring in my ground to the negative there. So I'm again going to grab the ground every time that I want the wire to bend. So it looks like I had the red selected. So now this next wire is red. And so that guy is coming up to here. I want this to be moved over just a touch, like a that. Gorgeous. And I want that guy to be black. So I'm going to go here and choose the black there. Cool, eh? Now I can zoom in, zoom out. can I select? No, I don't know how to select. If anybody knows how to select everything at the same time. Oh, wait, did I just do that? Yeah. Oh, cool. So you can select just outside of all your components, and then you move everything all around the screen. Excellent. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to throw in an LED there. So let's find an LED. Okay, so bring this guy onto the page here. So what I'm trying to build up here is the blink circuit that we had before. I'm going to have that connected up to pin 13. So I'm going to put this guy over here. You'll notice that it denotes the anode and the cathode. So remember that the anode is supposed to be connected into the positive, and the cathode is supposed to be connected up to the negative there. Okay, just like the previous video, we needed to have a current limiting resistor, and let's bring that bad boy in there. And I want to go from the cathode, and I want to connect the cathode up to the negative. So you can see here that my resistor is now in line with the negative bus now. And this one right here now has continuity with my cathode. Okay, now I just arbitrarily decided to put my resistor as the final portion of the circuit, but I could have just as well put it here in the anode portion, right? It's a series circuit, so whichever side of the LED is there, it's going to limit the current there. Okay, then I want to click on this guy, and let's see, hang on, I got to click over here, click here, beautiful. And then it brings up my resistance value. So I want to go in ohms, and I want this guy to be a 220 ohm resistor. Now watch the color code. Let's see if we can zoom in here. Can we zoom in? Okay, so let's see if the color code changes as we change this. Maybe I want to change this to a 330. Hey, look at that. Even the color code on the resistor changes there. This is so cool, man. Excellent. Okay, so I want to have a 220 ohm resistor there. And then what do I need to do? This is connected up to the return, right, onto the ground. So that's good. So now all I need to do is just have something that feeds this circuit. So can I grab everything? I'll just move it over. Whatever, keep it there. Okay. And then I need this digital pin 13 to go out, right? So I'm going to go from here, and just to clean it up, I'm going to go like this. And I need that to go and feed the anode of my LED there. Sweet. Excellent. If I wanted to change that to like a different color, maybe I wanted to have purple. Just as a gorgeous color there. Okay. So that guy is now feeding my circuit there. So I have the feed from the digital pin 13. That's going out to the anode of my LED. Then from the LED, I'm going back to my 220 ohm current limiting resistor, back to the negative there, and the negative then goes back to the ground there. Excellent. Okay, so it's really cool, and you can grab all those the components, you can move everything around, and then like if I'm doing this and I want to put this on a blog, or I want to add this to my lesson plan or something, I can just do a screenshot of this and then just add it in. I can also share this with my students or with my YouTube subscribers. So it's just a phenomenal environment here. Okay, so hopefully everybody's cool on how to create the new circuit. If you wanted to bring in other components, you could just drag and drop those guys in there, and then you can wire them up to each component. If you want to get rid of the component, you just click on it and hit either this guy for the garbage, or this guy, click on it and just hit the delete on your keyboard there. Okay, what else? If I wanted to do a notation here, so if I wanted to throw this guy in there, right, and I wanted to say, don't forget the current limiting resistor. Okay, so I can make a note there for my students, and then I can just make it disappear, right? And then we can drag and drop this wherever we want. So we can put it like this, and then there's just a note there to say, don't forget the current limiting resistor. Excellent. Okay. We have obviously the normal undo and redo there. And then if we wanted to grab, easy now. If we wanted to grab, let go. Enough, dude. What's going on? Stop. Okay. If I wanted to grab a component and move it around, then I can press this guy and rotate different components. So if I wanted to take this guy and then rotate the Arduino, then I can do that. That's trippy. Cool. So you can rotate all your components and have them set up exactly the way you wanted them. Okay. What else do we need to look at? We've basically created our circuit. We've seen the bin. We've seen how to wire. We've seen how to zoom in and zoom out. We've got our annotations, where it rotates. And then there's, what else? Oh, there's one more thing right here in that, say we're like this, right? You can hit this thing right here and it says zoom to fit. And then it should bring everything in so it's got all your components nicely placed in the screen there. Nice. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to start our coding now, right? So if we go over here to code, let's see what's there. Oh, very cool. So there are two different ways that you can code this bad boy right here. So this will always be here from what I understand. This is like your base setup here. So it already has the code there for the blink. So it says set the built-in LED high, set the built-in LED to low, and then it looks like we have a delay there. But you're looking at it and you're like, wait a minute, wait. We were doing coding. I'm on this channel to learn coding, and all of a sudden there's this thing that looks like it's there for kids. Well, it's there for all of us. This is very similar or identical to Scratch. So this is a phenomenal way to get beginners to learn how to code. And it's basically just blocks that you can bring in there. So you just grab components, bring them into there, and then it adds to your code, right? So I can bring this in here, and now that is part of my code. If I want to get rid of it, I can bring it over to the garbage and delete it. Or if I want to get rid of it, I can bring it back to here and it disappears. Awesome, eh? In this environment here for the blocks, we have outputs, we have inputs. So here we can read a digital pin, read an analog pin, read degrees of the servo, number of serial characters available, read from the serial, read the ultra. So there's all number of different things there that are already available for us. Notations, so this was just the comments there. Remember we had the two slashes that provided us the comment. We can make use of that. In control, we have a delay, we have a repeat, then you have a repeat while or until, and then you have if, then, and else statements. It looks like we have some counters there as well. So you can grab these, bring them in, and then put other things into that environment there and just build up your code there. This is phenomenal, right? You just grab the stuff you need, bring it in there, and then we can simulate it. I'll show you how to simulate in a little bit. Okay, there's some math components that we can make use of as well. And if we wanted to create a variable, like say I wanted to create a variable called delay time. So same as we were looking at before, I create the new variable delay time, and then it comes up. There's my my integer delay time, and I can set it and I can change those guys as well. So again, I just grab and drop them into my program, and then I can move things around. Right? So for this guy, I can move it around and then bring things in, and all of a sudden I've changed my entire program. Cool, eh? Okay, so that's the way you can use the blocks, but let me show you this. We can go to just the text editors. Now it says, are you sure you want to close the blocks? Any blocks you currently have will be lost. Okay, that's fine. There we go. So there is our Arduino IDE, right? So right now I'm using the Arduino Uno R3, same as we had in the previous videos there. There's my delay time that I created there. So I created the variable, and remember that the standard is that when you created an integer, when you create a variable, the standard value is 0 to start up here, right? So here's where we create our variables. Then we have the void setup, and then we have the void loop there. Okay, exactly the same as we had for the blink, right? So we have in this case, I have a variable that I created up here, but the standard code here is the void setup, where we have the pin mode, where we're setting pin 13 as an output. Okay, so that'll set this bad boy as an output to fire on 5 volts to the LED. This happens once in the void setup, and then the void loop happens over and over and over again. So we're going to do a digital write to pin 13, and we're going to set it high. Then we're going to delay for 1,000 milliseconds, and it's cool. It sets up the comment section there, right? So you can see there's the comments. Then we digital write 13 to a low, so we set it to 0 volts, wait for 1,000 milliseconds or 1 second, and then bring to the top, and then fire on our circuit again. So you can program this in the blocks or the text, or this is what I like the best, in that you can have both there, right? So we have, here's our blocks right here. I make this a little bit smaller. So there's our blocks, and then as you change things within the blocks, like say I want to change this to 2 seconds. As soon as I do that, oh, look at this. It changed it right over here within the Arduino IDE. Okay? I'm saying the Arduino IDE, but this is the same as you would see within the Arduino IDE environment. Okay? So I want to change both of these guys to 2 seconds, and you can see that the block changes and the text changes over here as well. Awesome, eh? Now, if I wanted to grab this and copy it, I can grab it, copy it, and then I can open up my Arduino IDE. And then, let's see if I can paste that in there. Oh, that's nice. I can drop that right into the Arduino IDE here, and then I can download this to my actual Arduino. So you can play around in this environment right here for the simulator, get everything working properly, and then you can move over to the Arduino IDE and then download it to your actual Arduino, wire it up exactly the same as you have within the simulation environment. Or like if you're a teacher, you can set up a gorgeous diagram here for your students, and then take a screenshot, put that into your lesson plan, have them wire it up, and then they can do it in both the simulation environment and in real time. I'll show you there's another way that we can download this to our Arduino as well. Like you can save it. So I'm hoping that you're seeing that this is a phenomenal environment here. Where is that thing? Right there. You can download the code. So let's do that. So if I download the code here, right, it says what should you do with it. So I can either save it, or it says you can open it with the Arduino. So let's do that. We'll hit OK. It opens up Arduino. Create this folder, move the file, and continue. Sure. Oh, cool. So it created that, right? Now I was just in the previous one, I was just in the bare minimum there. And we see the identical code now, and they've just created this funky Circuin1 name there. Awesome. Now I can download this to my Arduino. This is phenomenal. And even look at this. It even has the color codes for everything, right? The void is blue, the pin mode is orange, the digital write is orange. Everything's set up. This is phenomenal. Okay, so how do you actually simulate this? Well, let's go back to getting rid of the code here. So I can either just move this. Can I move this to the side? No. I need to click this to get rid of the code. Okay, so by hitting the code, it brings it in and out of the screen there. Okay, that makes it disappear. And then I want to start the simulation. So it says initializing. Hey, cool, look at that. The LED is blinking every 2 seconds there. Awesome. And then can I bring up the code at the same time? Oh, phenomenal. Okay, now can I change these values on the fly here? So I changed to 3. Okay, so as soon as I change that guy, then the simulation stopped there. So then that 3 seconds is changed within the text code as well. I'll start the simulation again. And it looks like it's going high for 3 seconds, and then low for 2 seconds. High for 3 seconds, and low for 2 seconds. Cool, so you can change your things on the fly here. Then just start the simulation again. 1 second on, 1 second off, 1 second on, 1 second off. Oh, isn't this cool? Okay, so let's stop the simulation now. And let's see, let's go here and let's remove the resistor for now. Okay, and I'm going to just put a jumper between those guys. Okay, so now I've got the LED connected up there. But I don't have a current limiting resistor. So let's see what happens within the simulation when I start it up. Oh, nice. Look at this. Do you see that? So there is an exclamation mark. And if I click on that bad boy, So yeah, if you look here, you can see that there is this exclamation mark here. I'm not sure, I can't seem to get it to stay on the screen here, but if I come down a little bit and then slowly scroll up, then it says that it just disappears really fast. But so if anybody knows how to bring that up for a longer time, there is a warning there. Current through the LED is too much without the resistor. Somebody's going to have to help me out because I can't get it to come in. I thought that if you just clicked on that exclamation mark that it'd actually bring it up. And if we hit stop simulation, then the warning disappears there. So if you have something in the an answer for that, you can place it into the comment section as to how to bring up that warning. But it's cool. It gives you warnings there that you have forgotten to put in the current limiting resistor. And if I go back to the simulation now everything is cool, and that exclamation mark is now missing on the LED there. Awesome. So we have basically created our circuit. We were able to wire everything up. We can take a screenshot. Oh, look at this. Even on the actual Arduino, there's the pin 13, the integral LED that is firing on and off at the same time. All right, guys. So hopefully you found that this is a decent video and that I've walked you through all the basics in the TinkerCAD environment. The last thing I wanted to show you was we were going to make use of the serial monitor. So I just went here to code here, and you can also get to the serial monitor. It's in the bottom here. So same as in the Arduino IDE. If we open up the Arduino IDE, up here is the serial monitor. So in order to get to that, then in the TinkerCAD environment, you can press serial monitor. It brings up the same serial monitor that'll bring up some values. And then it also has a graph as well. So you can make use of the serial monitor graph. So, and the other thing you can do is you can ask for input from the user. So you can have the user put in values and send it into this serial monitor. So we'll be making use of that in subsequent videos. So phenomenal environment where we can code in either the block or in the text there. Gives us the ability to create some phenomenal circuits here. And the last thing I wanted to show you, and I'll put this into the comment section below, there are a number of different circuits. So there's the blink, there's the multiple LEDs in the breadboard, which we're going to do next. And there's a number of them that are here on this page. So you can do the fade, the RGB, there's the ultrasonic, the temperature sensor, and there's a number of different projects that are available here. Most of these here are done by Becky Stern, so we were looking at her videos earlier. I'll also put a link to her playlist here. So she has 6 different videos that will walk you through a number of different components within the TinkerCAD environment. All right, guys, hopefully you found this to be helpful. I definitely have, and I'm going to be making use of it in subsequent videos. All right, guys, thanks very much for your patience. I really appreciate it, and I will see you on the next video.